Yes, tonight is week 6 of CAD for construction, and we are presently, this is September 30th, 2021, and we are in the fall semester 2021. We're working on the foundation plan. And so what we're working on right now are just some indications, some illustrations, some graphic representations as far as the project we're working on. So what we've done so far has been a floor plan, and then we did a front elevation last week. And this is a photograph actually of the final project, which we're going to be getting to as we get into this right now. So that's what we have. So getting to there, what we want to do is now we're going to draw the foundation. So the foundation plan, what do we do for a foundation plan? Well, a foundation plan is always going to be something that in some ways you may consider like the, whatever, in some ways it's considered to be the, although it's the most important, it tends to be considered kind of like the ugly stepchild that nobody wants, because it's basically just foundational type stuff. It's not really fun. It's not showing you anything really cool, but it's got to be there and it's got to be right. Because if the foundation's not right, then you got problems. Okay, here you got having been around a little bit right here, it's all foundation. Like what we've been learning so far has all been foundational type stuff for CAD. You have to walk before you run, and you got to crawl before you walk. So we're somewhere in that crawling to walking thing. I don't think we're running yet. But as you do this right here, I just want to kind of point something out. Now is this. When you've got a foundation is critical. Now listen, this is something that is true in life. In foundations, it kind of works like this. Like I'm sitting here right now and I'm looking outside and I see this big tree. I got a big maple tree. I got a big sycamore actually out here. Anyone have a sycamore tree in their yard?
I think an evergreen or pine, one of those.
Evergreen, pine, okay, something like that. Okay, big tree. Okay, and then, okay, how about a maple? Anyone have a maple?
Yep.
How many don't know?
I have like 30 of them in my backyard right now.
All right, that's okay. Okay,
crab
here's the thing.
apple.
Okay, well, whatever you got, if you got a tree, that counts. Okay, so you got a tree in your yard. If you take a look at that tree, here's something that's kind of crazy. I don't know if you knew this, but I'm going to tell you the truth about trees. All right, you got so much room. Well, you got a tree that's coming out of the ground. Okay, it might be 20 feet, might be 10 feet, might be 40 feet. Okay, here's something that's crazy. Did you know that the root structure of most trees is actually the same size underneath the ground as it is above? Did you know that?
Yeah.
There's as much.
I had to cut a couple of them in my backyard and it sucked.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And the thing is, so you have to, I mean, if you tried to pull out all the roots, you would literally have as much tree underneath the ground as you have above. So that's why you wind up pulling out the root ball and cutting off the areas that you can at that point. So roots are very crazy. So what does this tell us? What do we learn from this? We learned that the foundation is key. If you don't have a good foundation, the thing can topple over very easily. Here's another little thing here. If you've ever been to Florida, there are palm trees. And palm trees down there, I don't know if you knew this, but the root structure of a palm tree is very close to the surface. Why? Because the water table is very close. It doesn't have to go down too deep. That's why when a hurricane comes through, palm trees go over really easily. They just go over really, really easy. I don't know if you knew that, but they do. They go over quite easily because they don't root as far. They don't have to because they're in a place where life is easy. So therefore they don't have to go too deep. Here's the application. If life is easy and you never have any trials, your roots are not very deep. Ooh, all right. But if you go through some things in life, if you go through some tough things, you have roots and those roots will hold you. So don't be worried about trials if you've been through some, because it means you're rooted and you got something other people don't have. That's a good thing. You don't want to be a person who's untried and doesn't have roots. Okay. You don't look for trouble, but if it comes, you got to realize it's all part of the journey. Anyway, enough philosophy. Now we're going to move on to actually talking about the drawing here. So everyone's here tonight. That's great. And so what we're going to do right now is we're going to talk now about foundation plans. So what we did last week is before we go into this week's stuff, I always like to go over what we went over last week. So let me talk about we talked about we did the elevation last week. So were there any questions about the elevation?
I just noticed I missed the sample measurement for the roof, like the smaller roof. How many points off would that be?
Oh, okay. You missed a measurement for that. Usually what happens is 100 points right now. I typically will take off, if a dimension's missing, I'll take 2 points off for that. So it'd be 98.
It's not
So-
too bad, then. Try not to
Not too
mix it.
bad. I don't hitch too hard with about that kind of thing. It's when things are, you know, that it's measured incorrectly, it's drawn incorrectly, it's the wrong size. The biggest thing, and I've seen this happen a couple times here. One thing you don't want to do is override the actual measurement of a dimension. There's times where you can override it and put in like a notation like TYP for typical or approximate or field measured at or whatever. You put in a notation there. Always leave the measurement though. The measurement is actually the right part. That's the correct part. If you override that, you're lying. You don't want to do that. All right, because that's bad CAD, very bad CAD. Okay, bad CAD practice, and you don't want to do that. So don't get in the habit of overriding that because you could actually make mistakes, and I've had that happen a couple times here, which I've told you about. And you know, so if you need to resubmit a drawing, I actually had a couple of you guys do this, and I explained this, that if you need to resubmit it because, you know, it's because I can't give credit if something's completely bogus. So if that's the case, I need you to resubmit it. There was at least one drawing I saw that way, maybe two. So if that happened, I will accept it now that you understand what the problem was, because the drawing was actually, it actually, a lot of work was done, I could tell that. So I'd like to give some credit. So if that was you, you know, I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying that just email me privately and we can go ahead and take care of that. I want to make sure you get credit for it. So anyway, moving on. So tonight, everybody's here. So I just go ahead and say everybody's here. That's a good thing. It's always great when everybody shows up. And everybody is here. Hail, hail, the gang's all here. So good to have you here. And what we're going to do now is, as we get into this right now, we are going to work on the foundation. So let's go ahead and do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out here and out to Blackboard. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to close out of there, and I'm going to go out to Blackboard, which should be able to do this here. So let me do a quick thing here. And I thought I had that open, but I guess I didn't. So let me sign in just like we all do. We go through here. I got to do the same thing you guys got to do. And hopefully it'll let me just jump in here without having to sign in, but maybe it won't. So we'll log in and we'll see if it'll let me jump in there. And I do this, we go in, boom, 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 done. Okay, so now once we're in here in Blackboard, again, Blackboard is the source for all things we're doing in this class. And we are now on week 6, okay, 6 out of 15. Okay, so down here, we are now on week 6. So foundation plan assignment, Southfield, week 6, so we got that. Okay, let me ask you a question here. And I hope I just want to kind of get an honest assessment here, but have you guys found this class to be pretty easy to navigate, pretty easy to keep up with, and you can find everything you need? Has that been, or have you been, has stuff been missing?
Very easy.
Very
It's
easy.
very easy. Probably the easiest class I have.
Okay, all right. All right, well, I like that. And the thing is, and I don't mind it being the easiest. I don't mind that at all. Part of the job of a teacher is to basically set your students up for success. If students are not getting it, if they're failing, if they're kind of having a tough time with stuff, teachers got to kind of look at why that is and that. So this, I've been teaching this for a while now, and I've kind of, every semester I refine a little bit more, and I kind of got it down to pretty good science. It's still a work in progress. Nothing, it seems, is perfect, but that's how that works. There's an old adage, you may have heard of this story, the Amish. You guys ever heard of the Amish?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the Amish, if you're not familiar, the Amish are a
My mom's obsessed with them.
Who is?
My mom.
Your mom. Yeah. Well, I'll be honest with you. The more the world goes crazy, I kind of want to be Amish sometimes, you know? I mean, think about it. I mean, that's why I'm growing the beard out, so I could blend in if I have to. Not really. But the thing is, you know, it's just like, actually, I found that I've got these grandkids now. So the longer the beard gets, I'm thinking, you know, I could pull off a fairly respectable Santa Claus here. You know, I could probably do that. So I'm kind of moving in that direction. And so why not? So it's gonna keep going, guys. I don't even want to shave it off. But anyway, the thing about Amish, I used to live up in the North Country, up in Clayton, New York. And up in Clayton, New York, right where my office was, I was in Depauville. There actually is a place called Depauville. It used to be called Catfish Falls. I'm not making this up. But anyway, Depauville is this little podunk, more cows than people there. a hamlet long forgotten by time. But anyway, our business was there, and there were Amish. Literally, there were Amish about 100 yards away from us. They were right there, and they would take their buggies up and down because they don't use cars. They don't drive cars. They actually have a buggy, like you could have made 200 years ago, and it's drawn by one horse or two horses, and they just go up and down, clip clop down the road. You hear them, and there they are, and they're all wearing the garb that looks like, about 1830 or so. It's like, and it's black. It's always black. They wear black year round, and it's just pretty crazy, pretty heavy stuff. But man, I'll tell you what, man, those guys know how to work. But the Amish, man, I'll tell you what, they got a lot going on there. So anyway, with the Amish, the thing about the Amish that they've got happening right there is they are not troubled by a lot of things that we're troubled with. They're just not, and their work ethic is just off the hook as far as that goes. But when they're building stuff, they actually don't use any kind of power tools. Everything is just hand done. There are some sects that actually do use a generator, but anyway, don't know where I was going with all that. But anyway, with the with the Amish, they actually are around. And sometimes you think you might want to be Amish. But getting into the foundation and getting into how things work right here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about that, and we're going to move in that direction. So going over to here, we went ahead and pull this up. So anyway, we were talking about, you guys said it was pretty easy, and it's like, so that's good. I'm glad it is. And I want that to be that way because I want you guys to be successful as far as that goes. So we'll move in that direction. So moving into this right now and tying this back together here, we're going to take a look at right now what this is going to look like. So first of all, right here, you got these two different things. You've got this Southfield master right here. And if you click on this, this opens up the PDF. Okay, this is the PDF that we have right here. And I realize there's some stuff that's in the way of the screen here. I'll try to keep it out of the way. But this right here is the foundation. Okay, so when you got a foundation right here, the foundation is critical because the foundation is what everything else is going to set on top of. So you've got that going on right there. And so you've got that happening. And as you have this right here, you're going to actually be designing where the actual walls are going to set. And now as you take a look at this, you can kind of see, oh yeah, that looks like the floor plan. And the only thing that's different is you actually have these thickened walls around it because that's the way it always works. You actually got a foundation and you build on top of it. So the foundation comes first. And so I've got a lot of detail in here. I actually took me some time to get this together. Every time I do this, I refine it and I try to put in more data, and it's actually better than it's ever been right now. So you guys are in good shape, and keep on trying to get this better each time. So you're going to want to download that and use this, but this is something that we can use and draw right here. So when we're getting into this right there, that is the foundation plan. But we were talking about the front elevation. Let me go back over here. So front elevation, there was a question about that. Before I go any further into this, were there any questions about the front elevation from last week? Okay, if there's no questions, we'll just continue on through here. And as I said, the work's looking good. Okay, so jumping into this right now, you would go ahead and you download this. And as is always the case, I always give you a template, okay? And the template's over here. Template is here, and you go here, and you go to, you download the Southfield template, which is right here. You boom, you download that. That's what you're going to use. So that is a template that is going to be used for this particular project. So we'll go ahead and we'll move in that direction. So going back to here, this is what the CAD drawing looks like when you're all done. It looks like this. So what you're going to see right here are there's all these dimensions on here. And the dimensions right here, we see the familiar 42-foot dimension right down there, 42 feet wide. And up here, this is 34 feet on this side and 28 feet over here. So we have all that in place. And this is what we're going to be drawing right here. So this is what this particular project looks like. Now, for this one, there's a couple things a little bit different. You're going to notice that I actually have a blue, my wall line is actually blue. And then I actually have a dashed line that represents the outside. That's going to be the footing. So I've got a footing and I've got the actual, concrete wall. It might be something else, but we've got that going on. So this is what we've got going in place right here. So these are the basic elements right here. So jumping into this right now, what we're going to do is we'll go ahead and start this as we have been doing for each one. I'm going to go over here to my start, and I'm going to go and I'm going to use my new. So I click on new. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try and find, not try, but I will find, under my downloads here, I'm going to find my foundation plan, Southfield template. I open this up and here I am, we're good to go. So it pops up. Now at this point, I can go ahead and I can begin to take a look back and forth to this one. So the first thing I'm going to do right here is I'm going to start with my walls. That's why I gave you the wall layer, which is blue to start with. So this wall layer right here, starting here, it's actually 42 feet across the back. Then it's 34 feet, and then it's 14. And then whatever it be. Well, if I go this way, it might be better. So I go 42, 28, and yeah, and 28 again. And then out this way, whatever that is, 6 feet, and then 14 and so forth. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So I will do that. Okay, so what I'll do is go here. I'll start at the very back here. I'll make this a polyline, what the heck. And I'll go ahead and start back here. So this is going to be 28 feet. So I go ahead and type in 28 and feet. I always got to put in the foot symbol. And then over this direction, this is going to be 28 feet as well. 28 feet, boom. And then we're going to go out this way 6 feet, like this. And we type in 6 feet like that. And then over this way, 14 feet. 14 feet, boom. And then we go back here. And what I'm drawing right now is I'm actually drawing the concrete wall. And as I'm doing this right now, I'm putting this together. This will be 34 feet. And then at that point, that should close perfectly. And it does. See that right there? It will close perfectly. So I right click and I choose close. Boom, there we are. Okay, so now that I've got that, let's take a look at what else is happening here. First of all, I do have some different thicknesses here. Like here, I've got a 10-inch wall thickness right here. Okay, so that's 10 inches right here. And on the back, that's actually an 8-inch wall. The blue to blue is 8 inches. And then over here, it's 10 inches again. So 10 inches here. And then up front, it's 12 inches. Okay, now this is actually the way it is because you're actually going to have varying thicknesses at different times with your foundation wall. And in this case, it's a case in point. So I can't just simply use my offset because so that's not really going to help me. Even though I drew this right here, probably best to explode it. Now, if you've got a polyline, this is a polyline, it's all one element. And so I don't have to redraw it. I can simply use what's called the explode command. What's the explode command? The explode command is right here. So I go to my explode command. If I hit my help right here, it talks about what the explode command does. What the explode command does is it explodes a compound object when you want to modify its components separately. So what you can go do here is you can actually explode blocks, polylines, and regions, and you go ahead and explode it. So I'm going to go ahead and explode this and break it down into its basic elements. So I use explode, I click on here, and now it's its basic elements. Okay, so now before I go any further, let me go ahead and put a couple dimensions on here so that we're all clear about what I've drawn here. I'll go to my dimensions and go to linear, and I go from here to here, and that is 42. We're good to go there. Go ahead and do this side, and I'll go ahead and grab this, and over on this side. And by the way, if you right-click at your first prompt, you can just grab the wall itself. That's right-clicking at the first prompt. Right-click, then I just go ahead and grab this. Little interesting side note there. So you go ahead and do that. And then over here, I can do the same thing with the front here and click on that and pull this out. And then I actually need to put a dimension here to here. And that's 6 feet. So I did get that all correctly. So that's all good there. So all the dimensions are in there. Now, I'm going to use my offset. And this has got to be offset 10 inches. We said that before. So here's how the offset command works. You can actually type the letter O. If I type the letter O, it starts the offset command. It's right there. And then it says specify the offset distance. The other way you could do this is you can click on this icon right here. That's the offset command there too. So I click on the offset command. It asks me a distance. We said it was 10. So I type in 10. I click on this wall. I'm going to offset this one in like that. And this one needs to be offset in as well over there like that. And then I have these in the front, and those are 12 inches all the way in the front. So I'm going to change my offset. I'm going to go here, and you can do this while you're still in here. I'm going to type in 12 like that. And I'm going to go ahead, and if I can get this one, I might have to dig in here a little bit. And I'm going to make that 12. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and do this. Click on this one, and we'll do that. Oh, I didn't do that right. So I'm going to do that one more time. Pull it up, make it 12. Boom. Okay, get rid of that. Okay, so we've got that going on. Then this back wall, that one needs to be offset 8 inches. So I'll use my offset there, and I'm going to go here, and I'll make this one 8 inches. So I click on this and offset that 8 inches. Now at that point, I've got the walls built, And what I want to do now is I want to trim out the corners right here because the corners are a little bit, you don't want to leave those lines overlapping. So I go to the trim command right here, and I can just go ahead and do this. I just go ahead and I pull the cursor through, and I'm able to make that happen just like this, like that. And then I can go through here like that, just clean them up. Very, very easy. Now, this corner right here, I can fix this several different ways. One really simple way is I can click on this and pull it up like this. And that's called grip editing. I just pulled that up. Then I pull this one up and I pull this one past it. And that looks like that. Now, at that point, I just have to pull these back until they touch each other. And that's certainly doable. You can do it that way. You could also use the fillet command. There's a lot of different ways to do that. But at the end of the day, that's your goal. Now, I also need to do a little bit of trimming here in the back. Get rid of this line and get rid of this line over here. So you got that. There we go. Okay, so now we've got that. We've got that, and that's my basic foundational wall. So I'm going to save it, and I save it. Once you get a good foundation, you always want to save it. I'll go ahead and name this one foundation plan, Southfield Brennan, right there, 2021. Only I'm going to name it instead of I'm going to say 2. So now I know what it is. Okay, so I've got that. Got that right there. So now that I've done this, I've got a good start. I've got a good start. And now what I want to do, I've got more stuff going on here. So looking over to here, I've got something else going on here. And that is, I've got these offset walls. These are 20 inches. Okay. So let's do the math on this. If that's a 12-inch.
Professor,
Yeah.
my fillet command, it doesn't work.
Your fillet command doesn't work. You mean out here to do the corner?
Yeah.
Okay, start the fillet command, and to make those connect, let me show you how you use the fillet command. So if these don't connect, let's go ahead and back this out here. Okay, so if it looks like this right here, you would go to your fillet command. You click on fillet. When you start the fillet command, make sure your radius is set to 0 first of all. Radius should be 0. If it's 0, you just click on this line and then this line, and boom, that's what happens. Does that make sense?
It does. Thank you.
But it didn't happen for you, or were you able to get it to work that time?
Yeah, but let me try to do it again. It is 0. The radius is 0, but it doesn't work.
What do you save it as again?
You're going to save it as right here. When you're doing this, you want to do this. And so if you ever need the name, always go out here. And what you want to do is out here, when you submit it, you're going to call it Foundation Plan Southfield. Okay, all in caps though. And so over here, I've always got it here, what you need to name it as. So if you're ever not sure, just do a final check right there. That's all. And with these Southfield ones, I realized I kind of threw a bit of a curveball on there. And some say Southfield, some say don't. I'm not really going to grade you off for that, but I'm looking for this right here. That's what I'm looking for right there. If you include the word Southfield, I'm not gonna hit you for it. Okay, is that working now? Ready?
It doesn't work, but it's okay. I'll figure it out. Thank you though.
Yeah, okay. All right, good. Because I want it to work for you. Okay, so getting back to here, what we've got going on here is we're back to here now. Now, here's what we got going on. Let's think about this wall now. So you got a 12-inch wall. Okay, it's a 12-inch. Let's just imagine that's a poured concrete wall, or it might be concrete masonry unit, CMU. When we talk about CMU, what we're talking about is what used to be called cinder blocks, or essentially what they're doing is they're concrete blocks, okay? And concrete blocks are actually hollow on the inside. They actually have 2 hollow compartments, okay? And then they get stacked, and mortar goes between them to stack them up. All right, so you got 12 inches right here. So 12 inches from here to here. Now, if this is 20 inches, doing the math, that means that each of those sides needs to be offset 4 inches. All right, that's what you do. So offset 4 inches to give us that 20-inch total. So let's do the front here. And and this is also 18. So that's also a 4-inch distance. I wonder if this is back here too. I don't know. Let's find out. That is not. So the sides and the front, they're all a 4-inch offset, right? Yeah, they are 4-inch offset all around. So I'm going to go back to here. And now to do this, I could try and do the offset, but if I do that, here's a little trick here. First of all, what I'm going to do is I want to offset this, but I want to offset it to be a different color, which is footing. So footing is the layer I wanted to go to. That's red. Now, let me show you something else here. It's interesting here. When you take a look at your footings, I got my footings right here, and you'll notice that it's a different line type, which is hidden. Hidden is a dashed line. That's why it's going to look different here. So watch this. I'm going to show you a little trick here. This is going way back in time. This is old AutoCAD trick. So I'll go to offset, and I start my offset command. My offset distance is 4, type in 4. Now, notice that, let me go back down here. I got to go to my settings. Okay, now notice that there's settings right here. I've got layer. Okay, well, what's layer doing there? Well, I'll click on layer, and what I can do is I can say current or source. Source is the default, but if I click on current, watch what happens here. I go to current, and choose current, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use 4 inches. I'm going to click on this, and I can go this way. Isn't that pretty? Like that. So actually what it's doing right now, it's offsetting it. And I'm going to go ahead and click on this wall right here, like that. And when I do this, we are now looking pretty good there. And that is how we do this. So I go through here and go ahead and do that. So as I'm doing this right now, I'm actually using the power of AutoCAD and using one of the variables to go ahead and make life really easy on myself. Now back here, these walls got to be 6 inches because it's 8 inches and then it's 20 inches. So just take my word for it. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to make that 6. And I'm going to click on this one and make that 6. So I got that. So that's what I have going on right there. So there's my foundation. So we are off to a good start. Now, here is a place again where I could use my fillet command to join these. The fillet command, I go to fillet right here. And when I start the fillet command, the first thing I want to do is verify that my radius is set to 0, and it is. So I'm going to click here and here. When I do that, they join together. I can do it here too, here to here. And it depends upon, I didn't like that, did it? So I'll try that again. Fillet here and click here like that. Okay, and then I'll just go ahead and clean these other corners up. Click here and click here. All right. And we'll do it again. Right click again, fillet. We'll go here and here, like that. Beautiful. And we continue on around here. And as we do this, this just cleans us up really nicely. And we will go ahead and make some things happen here. All right. Okay, so all this is just cleanup type work. Okay, so we got that. Okay, so now we got that. We are in a good spot, and somehow that needs to be trimmed again. I don't know why it does. All right, pull that down. Good. Okay, so now I've got some basic stuff right here. I've got my exterior. I'm off to a great start, doing very, very well. Now, here's where it gets a bit more intense because now you got to deal with all those dimensions that are just stacked on top so tight, you know, you're all here. But I've done a couple things to help you guys out. So we got this going on right here. So as we take a look at this right here, we've got a window here. Oh, and I didn't give you guys a window block, did I? Sorry. Oh, well, I guess you're on your own. You're gonna have to make your own windows. Okay, so anyway, the window is just a 6-inch window right here. I should have made you one. I didn't do it. Oh, well, not a problem. You guys can do it. But other than that, I've got these things right here. I did make you this. These right here are section cut throughs. Okay, so the section cut throughs, those are easy. Let's do those right now. So to put those in, the section cut throughs, I actually made a block right here. So I click on this block right here, and that's what I want to bring in. So the proper layer for that is actually going to be the section layer, which is right here. It's brown. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to click on this. Now watch what I do here. I pull this in. I go ahead and drop it right around like this. And when I do this, I drop it. And boom, it then asks me, okay, what are the numbers for this? And this is what I did for you. I made an attribute. So this is C here, capital C here, and C there. It's supposed to do that. And when you're done with that, it does this. Why did that come out red? Shouldn't be red. It should be this. Okay, I guess I didn't get my layer changed. I'm going to do that. So that's what it should look like. So that's how that particular notation should look right there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this again. I'm going to pull this over here and I'm going to place it just for, you know, and I made it, and you can actually rotate it as you do this. This one's going to be B. And like I said, I made this block for you guys just because, oh, what the heck, I thought I don't want to, there's a place where there's some things that are good to learn and some things are just busy work. And, if I can help you, I can. Oh, this one's got to be A. So this one's A. This is the one that is actually going to be the most important because this is the one we're going to be creating a section out of later. So what are sections? What is a section? Well, a section is essentially where you would actually look at the interior of a wall as if you were to cut it. If you were to actually go outside that wall with a chainsaw and just cut it right down and then take a look at what it looked like, that's what a section is, okay? And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to just briefly stop sharing my screen. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to find this thing because I don't know where it is. I got to find that. I got to find a section view. So,
Hey, Professor,
yeah.
when I'm clicking on my footer layer, it's not coming up as a red dotted line. It's doing the same blue as the walls.
Okay. When you do that, here's what you want to do. Let me go ahead and get back to that. And let me, okay, 1 second here. Get back to where we were. Okay, not there. Okay, try this again. Come on.
Would you also mind doing the section thing again? I'm switching in between screens to see what you're doing. So I'm working on the same computer as Zoom.
All right, let me do this again. So I'm sharing again. Okay, so I'm sharing right now. Can you see what I'm doing? Who had the question right here about the footers?
I did.
Okay, Nick, here's what you do. All right, so Nick, what you would do is like this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw a blue line just to show you how this works. So I'll draw a blue line and I'll just go ahead and describe the principle. So I go like that. Now I want to offset this, but I want the new one to be red, right? So I change my current layer to footing. You following me?
Yep.
Okay, so I do that. Now when I do the offset, I start the offset. Now notice down here, I've got the option of going and changing my layer. See this right here? So I click on layer and then I choose current. All right, so when I use current right here, I use 6 inches and watch what happens. I click on this and I do that.
So I can't just click on the layer to change layers and then just do an offset that way.
Well, you could certainly do that too. I'm just showing you a way that's faster. But if you've used the previous, if you use offset, and you're using the default, which is actually your layer is actually source. If I use source and I go here, and if I do this and I just go and offset, it's going to make it blue. Okay, well then of course you could just select it and then go over here and move it over to the footing layer like that. No problem. You can do that too.
I also don't have that command line that you have on the bottom because I'm on Mac, so I don't know if that's not.
Yeah,
I don't know
well,
if that has that.
This is why I recommend taking the class with a PC. So if you don't have it on the Mac, I'm not even sure how you turn it on. You'd have to look that up on your own. I don't know how you get the command line to show up, but I'm sure that there's some kind of convention where you can actually have that. So if you were to go online, if it was me, I'd just go online right now, go to Google and type in AutoCAD for Mac command line and see how to turn it on, okay?
Okay.
Format's different, but you can run parallels on your Mac to open AutoCAD as if you're in a Microsoft machine.
Yeah, you'd mentioned that before. And I had a couple people who are asking me questions about that. I'm like, look, I'm not taking any responsibility for parallel. If you want to do that, you're on your own. I'm not touching that. So if you want to do it, you go ahead. I do not, it's kind of funny because even as a teacher, I'm not sponsored by Autodesk. I'm not, I've given them plenty of my life, but the thing is, I'm not going to carry their water for them on this one right here, but they've got a Mac version. It's a great version. Actually, it used to really be terrible, but it's really been improved the last couple of years. So I definitely can say the Mac version is worth using, but if you have a choice, always go with the Windows version simply because it's built out better and it's more consistent. If you have to use the Mac version, then hey, that's cool. But it's, I have close friends who use the Mac version, but it's not something that I recommend. So anyway, that's how that works. So does that help there? Was that Nick asking that?
I mean, yeah, it helps. It would help more if I was on not a Mac. So
Yeah. Okay, you're not on a Mac, or you are?
No, I am on a Mac. I'm just saying I could do that if I was on a PC, but I'm not.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. What you could do then, if you're in here, I don't even know if you can do this, but if you go to the offset command, if you go to the offset command and you right click, do you see it there? So start the offset command there, Nick, and let me know if you
Yep.
right click if you have the layer option.
Yeah, I do have that. Yep.
Yeah, bada boom, bada bing. That's all you got to do. So you go to layer and then you choose current. You do it that way. Follow me?
Okay. Yep, that works.
Yeah, here's the thing. Anything on the command line, almost everything, you can right click your mouse and get it from there. Here's another secret. All right. Yes, Professor Tom is unfolding the secrets of AutoCAD tonight. So if I go here and if I'm in the offset command, I go to here. Here's another thing you can do. If I hit my down arrow, ooh, look at that. You hit the down arrow, there's another place. There's actually 4 different ways to access this stuff. All right. You could also type the letter L, and that'll give it to you. Watch this. Does this work for you there, Nick? Tell me. If you're in offset right here, if you type the letter L, does it, and hit the enter key, does it bring up this option? Type L and then hit the enter key. Does it give you that option?
It does, yes.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so that's the workaround. There's always a workaround with AutoCAD. AutoCAD lets you do things, you know, as if this was 1988. You know, you could still go back and use AutoCAD in the same way. That being said, there are 4 different methods for doing various inputs and getting the different options. And that's like right clicking and finding off the mouse, typing in the variable, or hitting the down arrow. And that's what you can do. So those are things you can do if you're working with a Mac. Okay, if there's any other Mac users, that right there is worth some gold right there, what I just told you guys. So that's a good thing. Okay, so moving through there, I'm going to move on to the next thing. By the way, I just taught all day.
Professor,
Yeah.
can you repeat when you insert section block, because I couldn't find it.
Okay, did you use the template here? Did you use the template?
Yeah,
Okay,
I am.
open this over here, type the letter I and hit enter.
The letter I, okay. Okay, insert.
Okay, do you see it over here?
Yeah,
Okay, so then you just click on it and you drag it in.
I don't have that on my insert thing.
Oh yeah, you're using an old version, aren't you?
Yeah. Is there any way I can insert it without it?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of ways. What you would do is if you don't have that, if you're using an older version of AutoCAD, what you would do is you would go up here to the insert tab right here.
All right.
And then what you would do is you go right here and insert right here. You see that?
Yep. Oh, okay. I got it.
Yeah, there's more than one way to skin a cat, you know.
Actually,
A lot of different ways to go about this. And so you got that. Okay, how we do
it didn't appear to me.
yeah, mine's still not there actually.
What's that there?
The section.
Okay, so you went up here to insert, you went to insert here, and you're not seeing
Yep.
this right here?
No, all I have is brake line, window, sliding door, arch tech, and this dot
Me-
small.
Me too. I don't have section in my insert command block, insert block.
Okay, let's make sure we do this real quickly here. What you want to do, let me show you this. This might be what's going on. Do this. Go over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this right here. And what I want you to do is check and make sure that you've got this on current drawing right here.
Yeah, I just check now. When I put current drawing, I can see the brake line, sliding door, and the window.
Can you see section now?
No. If I
Alright.
put reset, I can see others, but no section.
Okay.
Favorites, no, and the no.
Yeah, the only thing I can tell you is, if that's the case, all I can tell you is make sure you're not using the wrong template.
Yeah, mine's still not showing up either, and I am definitely using the right template.
Yeah, I think I use the correct template because the layers are correct. I have section, layer section, but I don't have block section.
Okay, let me just check this out real quickly here. Let me go ahead and let me do a quick check and make sure that the right one's out there. So let me do this. This is what we have out there right now. Let me download this and just download it down here. That's the one I'll use. I'll start another drawing. Let's verify that it is the way it should be. Make sure that we are all dealing with the same criteria. So I'll go up here to new. And by the way, you want to use this process. If you're not using this process, I can't guarantee your success. Okay, so this is the one that I just brought in right here. It's 6:53. Okay, I'll do this. Let's see how we're doing here. Yeah, it's right there. It's I don't know what to tell you.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Yeah.
Because I downloaded the same.
Okay, is anybody else seeing it though?
I can see it on my screen.
Okay, yeah, there's definitely some people that are getting it. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But
Is there a way I can manually put it in? So I'll just manually put it in if I can.
well, you sure, yeah, but it'd take a half an hour to do what I did.
Right.
The thing is but sure, you could do that. But in any case, all I can say is if you're not seeing the correct template, I can't reproduce your error, so I don't know what you're doing differently than I am, but it's working here, and a lot of people it's working for them, so I don't know what to tell you, except that it doesn't make sense that it's working for me and other people and it's not working for you. So I don't know what to tell you because it sounds like you're doing everything right. All I can say is it doesn't sound like you're using the right template.
Can I make a block? Create a block like that?
I'm sorry?
Can I create a block like
You can
Like
create
section?
a block, but probably, it's going to, yeah, you could, there's a lot of, you guys know enough right now that you could basically draw that up. You could put in some things, but for right now, let's move past that because it's my feeling that you've somehow opened the wrong template. That's my gut feeling, but we'll move on from here and we'll take it from there. Because it's, yeah, so we'll move on.
There is now a good time for our 10-minute break.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Now's not a bad time for the 10-minute breaks. Let's take 10 minutes and we'll come back after this and I will, yeah, and we'll make sure everyone's got the right thing. So you guys might want to just kind of download that block again. We'll take it from there. Yes, and I see that you've got your hands full there. So we'll go ahead and we'll take, let's take 5, 10, let's take 7 minutes and we'll come back in 7 minutes and we'll take it from there. So see you guys in 7.
Okay, great, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, we're back at it and we'll continue on here. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. All right, those who were having issues with the not finding the blocks, any success or not really? You guys try to reload the template or not really?
I didn't get a chance to really reload it. I have the right one going. I just don't know what's, so what I just did is I made my own section thing, if that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. You can do that too. Not a problem. There's a few ways to go about doing that, but since I provided the block, I just wanted to make your life easier, but that's cool. We're good to go. All right.
And then I got one quick question.
I
What's that?
checked and I downloaded the correct now, and now I can see the section.
Okay, so now you can. Okay, great. Okay.
Yeah, because I had downloaded yesterday, but I don't know why it was different. But now, okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
I changed it. If you guys downloaded the template earlier, I changed it just before class started.
Ah,
I don't, that's,
because I was pretty sure that I had downloaded correct, but now
Yep.
I can.
So if
Okay,
if you downloaded it earlier, I changed it just today and through it and
that's why.
that explains it. Okay, so you guys are way ahead of the game, I guess. So
yeah, I mean, I'm like almost completely done with it too.
Oh, are you? Well,
Yeah.
well, what you could do is, well, that's fine. It's not a problem. The template will work. It just didn't have, it just was missing a couple things. But that's fine. Everything was there except for that block. I decided to give you the block to make life easier, but that's fine. You could just drag all that stuff. Here, let me show you a cool trick here. All right. Here's the problem. Okay, here's the scene. You've created everything. It's like, oh no, I gotta pull this stuff into another drawing. It's impossible though, isn't it? Oh, contraire. What you do is this, you go here and I got drawing 3, it's empty, right? Nothing in here. So what I would do is I would go ahead and I would do this. I would go ahead and I'd go ahead over here and I'm gonna do a couple things right here. First of all, I'm going to, let's see here. I'm gonna close out of this one. I'll open it up later again in a minute here, but just for the sake of this, I'm gonna go ahead and close this, do this. Now watch this. Okay, so if I had all this information and it's drawn, I wanna pull another drawing, watch this. I'm gonna go to window. And when I go to window, I'm going to tile these vertically. So now I'm seeing them all side by side. See where I'm going with this? So I'm going to go out, I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to go to window and tile it vertically again. You got to do it twice. And then watch this. This is worth the price of admission right here, kids. All right. So what I do is I take this, I grab all this schmear, I grab this whole thing, or enchilada, like grab the whole enchilada, grab the whole schmear, whatever you like, whatever you like. And now watch this. All right. All right. At no time do my fingers leave my hands. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to right click my mouse on here and I'm dragging it over here. Bada boom, bada bing. There it is. Copy here. There it is. It's in the other drawing that easily. So if you ever need to pull information from one drawing to another, it's that easy. It can be done. You could also just use a standard copy and paste. All right. So if you choose, you can do it that way too. Does that help?
Yeah, let me, I'm gonna try that right now. Maybe that should be good.
It's actually pretty cool. And the thing is, yeah, so again, what I did was this, just to make it clear, I'm gonna just undo this. And I do this, you select everything you wanna pull over. And then you right click your mouse and hold it down and you'll see a little icon attached to your mouse and you go ahead and pull over here. Oh, and then you just drag it over in there and just drop it, copy here, and then you're in business and it's right there. So yeah, that's
Hey,
pretty,
Tom.
yeah.
The other way that I've had some success is when you go to the insert, there's the libraries tab. You can load the blocks from any drawing, and that also works for that template. I just tried it.
Yes, you can do that too. You can do that as well. And the thing is, that's great. Go to the head of the class there. You're totally right. And so what you could do is, there's actually a lot of ways to do this. And yeah, you're right on top of it, Jared. Totally right on top of it. Thanks for sharing that. What he meant is you can go out here to libraries. And then what you could do is just go ahead and find the other drawing. And I'd go out here and I'd find the drawing. In this case, I've saved it on my desktop. And I'd go ahead and say, okay, where is that? And I'd say, let's say I want to go to front elevation Brennan. And I'd go, let's say I was looking for the block in there. And I could go ahead and go down here. I could also use, yeah, I could actually go down here and find that and pull that in. I could also go in and pull in blocks using something called, I'll show you this right now. What the heck? I probably am way off the beaten path, but I'll show this to you. If you go to Control 2, you can open up Design Center. And Design Center lets you do the same thing. I could actually go here and I could actually go and find, you actually go to Open Drawings. I can pull in content from other open drawings. I can go here and you see these right here. They're all right here. I could go and pull into your Design Center. It's another way. So there's a lot of different ways to get that going right here. But, you know, easiest way would be just to use a template if it's available. But thank you for adding.
So I did Control C, Control D, Control V. It worked. Okay.
I'm sorry.
I just copy.
All right.
Control C, Control V, and
All right. Very good. Well done. Well done. Glad it's working for you. So that's it. That's it. Yeah, Control C, Control V works beautifully. So that's great. Okay, so I'm going to close out of this one. Save changes. I'm going to say no because I just did that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to pull this other drawing up that I had before, right out to here. And this is the one I want. Okay, so I'm back into here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to draw this now. So now that I've done this, I've got to do the inside stuff. Now there's a lot of inside stuff here, and I tried to make this easier for you. And yeah, so what I did right here is you'll notice that right here, I've got this right here. That is a beams. Okay, that's a beam line. And the beam line is 13 feet, 9½ inches from this side. The beam is vertical. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to my beam layer. I'll start with that. And I'm just going to build this out. And you should have plenty of dimensions to make this work. But I'm going to go ahead and do this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset this line. And I'm going to use offset, use the same thing I used before. Offset 13 feet, 9.5. Hit my enter key. All right. I got to change my layers first. Go to layers and use current. There we go. Then 13 feet, 9.5, boom. And then I'll go ahead and go here, click here. And it's right there, boom. All right, now let me measure it, make sure it's correct. Make sure it's got that in the right spot. I should. I'll go ahead and touch it here. And touch it out here, make sure we're good. And there we have it, looking pretty good there. So that's 13 feet, 9.5. All right, so I've got that in place. Okay, so that establishes that beam line right there. And that beam line is slightly off right here, but that's okay. That's good for what we have right now. So we got that. Now the next thing we're going to do is I also need to establish the beam line that is right here. There's actually a beam line right across here. So I got a beam line that is right here, and this one is actually 12'4". Okay, so I'm going to establish that one. So 12'4". So I will establish this one, and I'll do the same thing here. I'll go to offset and make sure that my layer is set the way it should be, which is going to be current. Okay, so I'll go to offset, and this is going to be 12'4". Boom. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to offset this from right here and go to here and up like that. Okay, and because I had that as my current layer, I did that, but that's okay. And then I'll go make that beams. Okay, so I got beam, make that, need to put that in the beams layer. Okay, so now at this point, it's looking like that, and that's good. One thing I've got to do over here is I've got to, okay, my distance here, I probably should have given you this, but I didn't, but oh well, it's okay. And what I'm going to do now is I need to give you guys something else. Let's see here. All right, let's see. Yeah, I got to add up some distances here, but that's okay because I've got my quick calculator. So my quick calculator, I'll go ahead and put in these distances. So over here, I'm going to type in a few distances. I'm going to add up the distances I have over here on the right, because I should have given you guys the distances here, but I didn't. 7'3", 6'9", and 6'9" to give you this right here. So 7'3", so I'll go ahead and just type this in. So 7, let me go over here. Back this up. 7'3" plus 6'9" plus 6'9" equals 20 feet 9. Okay, 20'9". So I'm going to offset this 20 feet 9 from the outside. So it's 20'9". So I'll do the same thing, offset 20 feet 9. 20 feet 9, boom. Go ahead and offset this one over like that. Again, the wrong layer, but that's okay, we'll fix it. And we will do this. We'll go to our beams like that. Okay, so now that's coming together quite nicely. And then I've also got a couple other items here. Probably should put some more dimensions on here, but that's okay. We can figure it out from here. Let's see, what else do we have here? All right. Okay, well, now that we've got those, we can go ahead and start to put a couple of these things in place. Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and start to place a couple of these things along here. And what I want to do is here, I've got these, like for instance, this right here, this is this right here, that's a column, okay? And that's just that's a 6" by 6" wood column, and it's 7'3" off the edge here. So it's 7'3", then it's got a footing around it. So I'll go ahead and go there and make that 7'3", and that is actually going to be 7'3" on that line. So over to here, it's 7'3". So I'll go over here and columns. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it this way. I'm just going to make this kind of easy. I'm going to start right from here, and that's 7'3" off. So I'm going to start here, touch it here, and I'm going to go ahead and slide along here. And you'll see I didn't click anything. So I'm going to type in 7'3", and I'm using extension right there. And I'm going to go ahead and draw this out. So half the distance is going to be 6, and then over here is 6 again. Oh, actually, that's supposed to be 3, isn't it? Yeah, that's got to be 3. So I'll undo that. And that's got to be 3. So 3, and then over 3, and then down 6. I'm just going to build this out. And then over 6, and up here, 6. And then go ahead and pull that all the way across there like that. Okay, we got this. Because I've got that in place right there. So then I've got that. I'm just going to leave that in place right now because it gives me a nice marker. So I'm going to put a dimension on here just to make sure we are where we should be. I think we are, but let's verify. Always, trust but verify, as they say. So we go there, 7'3". So that one's in place right there. Now, the next thing I'd want to do is I'd also want to put in my footing. My footings are 24 by 24 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my footing layer and I'll go to footing. And that's going to be a 24 by 20 inch, 24 by 24. So go here and I'm going to type in just like 24, 24, like that, boom. And there's that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this right now. And one of the cool things you can do with this right now, which I don't think I've ever showed you guys, is if I shift right mouse click, I can go ahead and use my geometric center of this. And right there. And it goes ahead and finds that. And I'll go ahead and just put it right there. Boom, like that. And so when I do that, that is now in place and it looks beautiful. So now what I would do is I'd copy this over 6'9", once you have that in place. And what I'm going to do first of all, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to edit this because I don't need that little extra line. Well, actually, you know what? That's going to make life a little bit easier. I will correct it later, but I'm just going to copy this over here and I'm going to go over 6'9". I'm going to start from here. So I go here, go over 6'9". So 6'9", boom. And I want to go over another 6'9". So that would be 13 feet. .5. I think that's right. 13 feet 5. Like that. Something close to that. Maybe 13'6". Okay, so yeah, it's got to be right on there though, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Okay, so let me verify I've got this. Put some dimensions down, see how we're doing here. So that's 6'9". We're doing good. I may have missed it with this next one. It happens sometimes. All right, we'll try this again. See how we're doing there. Yeah, okay, I should just, I didn't do the math. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do this over. I didn't add that up quite correctly, but that's okay. Okay, so now at that point, I've got those. So now you can see as I'm building this out, it's making a lot of sense. It's coming together here. And now let's see, what's my next item right here? Okay. All right, so now I've got to actually put another one here. Now the distance here is right here. Now I got to figure this out. I should just give you these dimensions. I don't know why I didn't, but anyway, so what I've got right here is going from here. It's 5'4.5" plus 10'7". So 5'4.5" plus 10'7". So I'm going to back out here and I'll do this 5'4.5" plus.
How did you do the box around the green box that you made for the column?
What's that now?
The column that you made, the pillar. How did you do the red outline again?
Oh, okay, 1 second here. Okay, 15 feet, 11.5. Okay, what I did right there is to make that, I went ahead and did this. I went ahead and I just made it like this. I went ahead and I went to footing. I just made a rectangle. And I went ahead and just clicked here and I typed in 24, 24. And then I moved it using the geometric center. So you move and I click on this right here. And then you could do it a couple different ways. I could actually touch it here and touch it here, which I've shown you guys before, and then just put it wherever you want it to go. Does that help?
Yeah, that's neat to know the dimensions for it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great. So now what I want to do.
Would you have done that with the green ones too?
Yeah. You mean the green ones as far as like, oh yeah, you could just make them the same way. You could just you could make the green ones the same way. Just do this. And what you do for here is just go ahead and you'd make a rectangle with those. You go ahead and click here. And then I go ahead and say 6, boom, there it is. Yeah. So that's actually a preferred method. But since I was measuring it out, I kind of like to do it this way. That's just my preference.
You couldn't touch it on the end of the line and then measure out the 6 or 7 foot 3 inches like you would normally with like a dimension?
Well, like, yes, you could. Like, for instance, right here, I actually have this little line here. But if I do this, let me show you a little trick here. So now that I made this, I can go ahead and copy this and I can place on top of this other one. And no one will be the wiser, okay? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take it here. I'm going to take it right from this top. Now watch this. I'm going to go ahead and drop it right here because I left a handle on this one. These little CAD tricks I've learned over time. Then I delete the old one and boom, it's gone. See that? Underwhelming, huh? But anyway, that's what you do. And so you can actually copy this. Now that you got this rectangle here, I've got this in place. I can move it by its top midpoint. And I can go ahead and place it right here. And then once I do that, I can just delete this one. Don't need it anymore. It was a marker. I don't need it anymore. And it's gone. Does that make sense? Maybe not. Well, don't worry if it doesn't. And now I've got to make this next one. And I had a perfect dimension and it's gone now. Oh, it's right here, 15 feet, 11.5. Okay, so I've got to go ahead and I've got to put another line 15 feet, 11.5. So I've got to do that. So 15 feet, 11.5, if I have this right, and I think I do. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to draw a line with a beam, 15 feet, 11.5. So I'll do this. I'll just offset this, beams, offset, and check my layers. Yep. Nope, I don't want to do that. 15 feet, 11.5, so current. Okay, so 15 feet, 11.5, boom. I'm pulling this up here like this. And that's where I want it to go right there. So I've got that right there. Now that is where I'd actually want to, if I've got that right, 10'7", I think I do. All right, I think that's right. So go ahead and try this, see if this works. I'll go ahead and take this and place this. All right, go ahead. This. Something like that. Yeah, that looks about right. And then I'll go ahead and put a dimension on that one too, just to make sure we are where we should be. 10'7". Okay, we'll just go ahead and 5'4.5". Oh, those are my stairs. Okay. Okay, good. All right, so that's correctly placed right there. So we're doing good. And then what I'd want to do is now I have that. I'd have a couple more I'd have to put together here, but we're going to continue to build this out here. Okay, next thing I've got right here is I do have this beam line right here. I got this beam line right here. And on this beam line right here, I need to place one more element that's 5 feet 10 and a half. Okay, where's my dimension? It's right here. So this tells me this one is centered 5 feet 10 and a half from this one. So I'm going to move that. I'm going to copy it 5 feet 10 and a half up and then move it over. So I'm going to copy this right here like that. I'm going to go here. Go up 5 feet 10.5. 5 feet 10.5. Boom. And it does that. Now that I have that, I'm going to move that over so it snaps the other line. Beautiful. All right, I'll go ahead and go right from the centroid. All right. Right there. I'll pull it right over. Just keep on keeping on this edge. Boom. Ah, missed it. Had it, and then I kind of moved off it. There it is. Okay, so that looks like that now. Okay, so let me go ahead and put a dimension between those two items, make sure we're good to go. All right, so hope you guys are seeing how this is put together. There's a bit that goes on, but you got to get your structures right. Has to happen. And, you know, it's not going to happen by chance. You got to make sure it happens. So we go here, and this one here should be there, and then that should be. All right, should be 5 foot 10 and a half, and it is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Like we got that. All right, so that's what I got right there. So that's 5 foot 10 and a half. Those are all laid out quite nicely. All right, next thing I've got right here is now I've got those together. I just have to build out some more stuff down here at the bottom. And so to do that, I will continue to use this. Okay, so over here, what I've got is I got something else that's helpful down here. All the dimensions that are on here, I know there's a lot here. But right here, you'll notice that I got the 6 foot 6 dimension here. And this one right here comes right off the outside. It's 6 foot 6, and I have a column right there. And it actually is kind of like where the stairs are. So I'm going to go ahead and place that there. So 6 foot 6 away from that corner. So I'm going to do that. So 6 foot 6 away. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. Okay, so what I can do is I can actually start by bringing it down to the, yeah, it's got to be on this line right here, somewhere like this. And then I'm going to move it up, and it's going to go up 6 foot 6. So 6 foot 6, boom. See how that worked? Yeah, there it is right there. Okay, so it's right there, and then I have to center it on the line. So go ahead and move it over here. All right, and then I touch it here and down to here. Like that. All right, and if I got that right, and I think I did, I'll go ahead and place this. Should be right to here, and we should be good to go. 6 foot 6. Boom, nice. All right, so now I've got that, we are just about built out here. And I'm going to copy this. I'm going to grab this, copy this right here, boom, like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch this. And I'm going to touch this and pull it down. All right, let's go ahead and use the geometric center here. Beautiful. All right, so now you've basically got all the columns there. That would just be like, you know, doing the last little bit here. There's actually one more part right here. Now this one is kind of a strange duck. Okay, this one right here, you look at this, and I've got this going on right here. Okay, this right here is another column that's actually around a long, it's a footing around a long column. So you got a long column here. It's actually 5 feet long, and it's 6 inches wide. And it's 5 feet from here. So that's, I've got that. So it's 5 feet from the center here, and it's 5 feet from the center here, and then it goes right to the edge of that. So I can go ahead and use that. So I will use that as my marker. So I'll go here and go from here, and I will go 5 feet from the center up, and that's where it starts. So I'll start I'll just use my line command here. What the heck? So I'll go from the center here, I'll go 5 feet up. So from the centroid, 5 feet up. All right, 5 feet, boom, like that. Okay, so I got 5 feet, and don't worry about that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and go around here, and then I'm gonna go over here in this direction. That's gonna be, okay, that's 2 feet. So I go over 12 inches then, so 12 this way. And then I go up here, And that's going to be 5 feet. And then 12, and then 24 this way. And then 5 feet. I'm going to go ahead and close it like that. All right, like that. Okay, so I've got that. So now we are looking pretty good. I don't need this little, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, well, let's go grab this and pull it back like that. Okay, so got that. Okay, now the last thing I need to do is I have to place one of these items in here, and that is actually going to be placed. It's going to be placed, oh, that should have been 6 feet. Okay, so I'll just grab this. I'll grab this line and pull it down. Wrong one. Okay, should have done it this way. Okay, but that's okay. I can fix it. And I'm gonna go ahead and do it this way and explode it. We'll repair it. All right, this, here with that. Like that. Okay, then I want to at the 5 feet. So let me measure that, then put a dimension there, make sure it's right. We're here, dimensions, linear. Okay, so that's not right. So why is that not right? 5, oh, it's okay. It went down. It needs to go up 6 inches. Okay, so move that up 6 inches. So move that up 6. All right. Better. Okay. And then the last thing is to go ahead and place this. So if I were to offset this, let's see here, that's 2 feet. So if I were to offset that inside 6 inches, that would give me 6, 6, maybe 9, 9, 18. Yeah, I guess 9, right? Well, we can do this a couple different ways. Let me do it this way. Let me offset it this way, and we'll try, see if this works. So I got that. Go ahead and try that. All right, see if that's right. All right, that's 5 feet. I'll be glad, but I don't think it is. I think it's probably not going to be correct, but let's go ahead and figure it out. 4'6", yeah, just as I thought. Okay, that's okay, we'll fix it. All right, so then we got that, and this should be 6 inches thick. That part's right. Okay, so then this has to be stretched up. So click it here and pull it up 3. And I'll go down here and pull this down 3. Okay, there's your 5 foot. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so 5 foot there. And then this would go here. So this should be 6 feet total now. I don't know if it is. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so now that's all lined up. That's how we go ahead and put that together. So now we've got everything there. Pretty much everything there. Okay, so that's all good. Okay, so this is how we put this together. Now it's starting to look like something. And then we just have to put in dimensions and so forth to make sure it works. I've got a couple extra things here. I'm just going to trim out. So I use my trim command and get rid of this line. And this line, don't need that. So that goes away. And then I don't need this line up here. Actually, where do I need this line? Okay, that goes that direction. So I get rid of this one and I get rid of this too. Okay. All right, and then do we, yeah, get rid of this too. Yeah, okay, and then trim it again. Okay, and then this goes away. Okay, looking pretty good. Okay, then the last thing is the stairs. And then there's just some notation, some leaders. Okay, the stairs, as far as those go, we've got the stairs right here. Now the stairs, actually, they start, okay, they start actually right here, 5 feet, 4¼ inch from here. Okay, so 5 feet, ¼ inch right to there. And then they, let's see here, where do they start? Okay, actually, they actually butt right up against here. Okay, so we got that. Okay, so it's 5 feet, 4.5, and then they butt up right up against that. Okay, so the thickness of the stairs is that okay? It's 3 feet. Okay, it's 3 feet there. Gotcha. Okay, and the stringer is 2 inches. So that means it's 3 feet, 4 inches. So if I grab this line, okay, 3 feet, 4 inches over. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'll do my stairs going 3 feet, 4 inches over. So I'll go stairs. Line. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start from here. Yeah. Okay. Okay, 3 feet, 4, boom. Okay, that gives me a starting point there. And I'm going to go ahead and just do this. I'm going to go ahead and start the line from here. And I'm going to go ahead and go 5 feet, 4.5 inches, which we're going to start from the outside here. Okay, 5 feet, 4.5. Okay, 5 feet, 4.5, boom, like that. Okay, and then that is where that starts, right? Yes, it is. Okay, that's it. So this comes off there. And this comes down to here. And that is the corner point for my stairs right there. Now at that point, I'm going to offset this because the stringer is 2 inches. So offset this 2 inches. And I'm going to, then I'm going to go ahead and put a line here. Beautiful. And we'll go ahead and go up along here. No, okay, that's not right. So, okay, because it's, why is it not right? Okay. Well, I came off the wrong line, that's why. Or did I? No, I think I did. Let's see. Got a problem here. Okay.
Could you just draw a line down from the green box to that corner? Would that help? And then just trim out the rest of it?
Yeah, let me see here. Let me just check something real quickly here. Let me make sure I got everything the way it should be before I move on from here. It's possible I missed something and I didn't realize it. No, that's straight. It's totally straight. So that should be good. I think I might have just missed this one a little bit. Let me go ahead and fix that. So let me check this out. Looks like we're slightly off here. Got to find out why that is. Okay, I'll go to here and that's right. 30 feet, 9.5. Yeah. All right. And then, yeah, should be right. Okay. Three. Okay. Try this again. Okay. So where are we at here? Did I miss? Oh, there it's. Did I miss something? Right. Let's see here. What is not right here? And these should actually be lined up. They're not. That's not good. All right. Well, that's good. Try it again. Maybe this side is off. No, that's good. Okay, well. Sometimes the old saying, Measure twice, draw once, eh? Okay, so we got that. So let me go back to here and let me verify this. Okay, first of all, I've got these stairs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these, I'm going to extend them. Okay, right to here, out to here, boom, to there, and boom to there. And then I'm going to offset this 3 feet. Offset 36 inches and offset 36, boom, go here. Yeah. Okay. So 2. Beautiful. That's exactly what it should be. All right. So it all does line up. I'm not sure what happened there, but it looks beautiful now. Okay. So then you got that, and then you basically will run the stringers. Okay, which are the okay. So I got this line right here, and they're 12 inches apart. So I'm going to offset this 12 inches, and I'm going to go offset 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. And it's a total of 10, I believe. We'll go back to here. And what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, maybe more than that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11. Okay, so what do I got here? I got to copy one more. All right. Oh, I guess I got them all. Okay, so we're good. All right, so I'm going to trim this. All right, to trim it. So I'm going to write down here, trim it. Yeah, and I could have trimmed this out beforehand, so my bad. Okay, and when that's all done, we are looking something like that there. And it looks like this last line actually should. Yeah, it just runs right over to there. So that's kind of cool. And then we're good to go. In case we got, actually, that's good. We're good to go there. And so what we got here? Yeah, 11. So we have right there. So I'll go ahead and just do this. And it's right there. And trim off anything on the ends. Okay, and that's pretty much what you got right there. And then there's dimensions right there, which are there's a 3-foot stair and then a 2-inch stringer, which is what we have right there. And that is pretty much, I think, all I'm going to be doing for you guys. I think the rest of it you guys can get together. So there we go. It's 3 feet. I'll just go ahead and leave that there. And that just proves the concept. So yes, that is what you have. Then there's a few notes. The one thing I will say is there's a notation right here, which says 4-inch concrete slab reinforced with with concrete. Okay, so a couple things here. I've got like what are referred to as leaders. So the leaders, they go on the dimension layer too. So I'm going to go here, and a leader is essentially an arrow with a note. So I'm up here, and I didn't draw the beam pocket yet. I'll let you guys do that. I'm going to go ahead and take this and drop this here. I'm going to pull this down, and I'm going to just do this. And when I do that, I can then go ahead and type in beam pocket. And then 4 inches by 6 and 1/2 inches. UIP. And you got that right there. So that's how you go ahead and put those together. That is how you go ahead and make that happen. And so that's what those are. And then I've got a couple things where I've got some curly leaders, which can be done like this. I'll just show you this real quickly for those that are sticklers for detail. I'm gonna go here and go ahead and just go ahead and do this like that. And I'm gonna type in stringers, 2-inch typical. Like that. Okay, now for those that are looking at this, you may say, you know what, that arrow should be curly. Well, you can make it curly. I'll show you how to do that. So you click on there, and if you right click and go to your properties, you can actually go down here and change the leader type from straight to spline like that. You do that. And that's how we go ahead and put that together. And that is how you would do these others up here. So I've got this up here. I've got one more note here, which is actually I'll go ahead and just do this. I'll just do this, boom, 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 like that. And we'll do that. And I'll type in 4-inch concrete slab, 4-inch CONC. Getting late. SLAB. W/6 by 6. Sure what that next note is, huh? -6/6. I don't know what that's about. Okay, and I'll say WWF. 4 mil plastic foam. 4 mil plastic. Like that. So go ahead and do that. So I drop that in there. It looks like this. Now, the only thing about this is it's got this going out right here. There's a couple things I want to do to it. First, I'm going to double click on this. When I double click on it, I want to make it a spline. It's one thing, make it spline. It does that. And then at that point, I could also do this. I could also go ahead and change it. I think I could make it left justified, maybe. Justify left. Make it left justified. Yeah, like that. Okay, and then I could move the whole thing over, just move it. And then I got a little arrow on the other side. Now the little arrow on the other side, I can just cheat and I can just make another leader here with nothing on it. So I go to make a leader and I'll just go ahead and do this. This is just kind of a little override thing, just a stylistic thing. Oh, try that again. Create leader. Boom, 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 boom. Command key. Command key again. I don't want anything in there. Yes. So I don't want anything in there. I'm just going to double click on this. I'm going to make it a spline. And this is how I could just do this. I'm kind of cheating. I'm just making it blank. And at that point, I've got that. And then I just go ahead and move it over. There you go. And so you got that right there. So that's how we put those together. And that, I think, is everything. Other than that, you just do the dimensions as we show, but that's everything. That's the whole shoot match right there. So that is all. And I'm just going to pause this right now. Well, let me just ask if there's any questions before I let you guys go ahead and take over. Are there any questions at all, you guys?
So we don't have window blocks, right?
I'm sorry?
The window blocks?
No, the window blocks, the windows, I didn't give you those. You're gonna have to draw those. And so the windows are just essentially what you would do for the windows. Thanks for asking that. That's actually 7-foot dimension from the corner. Okay, so what you do with this is just to show you what that is. I would go ahead and go to my window right here, and where's my windows? Do I not have windows there? I guess they're doors actually. So they're doors. And it's centered at 7 feet away. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to use my polyline. I go 7 feet away from the outside edge. So I go here, touch here, and go over 7 feet, boom, like that. Then I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go down here, and I'm going to go ahead and put in the door. Okay, the door, actually, this door, that brings me into one more bit of information. Okay, let me do this real quickly here. This wall right here, I've got one more thing I got to talk about here. Let me go ahead and do this. Thanks for asking that. It actually opened up a good conversation here.
Professor, can you help me to modify my dimension? Because the wall, it's 12 inch and my dimension appear 1 foot. I know it's the same, but how can I modify it?
What's the question? I'm sorry.
My dimension appear 12 inch
Yeah,
instead of
yeah.
no, my dimension appear 1 foot instead of 12 inch.
Yeah. Okay, let me show what's going on there. Okay, what happens there is if I go ahead and pull this over, I can pick these 2 points here and it does this. Okay, that's another thing I needed to tell you about. Okay, so this one right here, it says 1'8". Now, how do I override that? Well, there's actually a couple ways we could do this, but for right now, if I want to go ahead and change that, a couple things. First of all, I'm going to click on this and pull the text up like this. So I can go ahead and pull the text up by clicking there and pulling it up like that. All right, now to make this change, I'm going to do this. I'm going to click on here. When I click on there, I go to my properties, right? And what I want this to be down here is I actually want the text to, instead of being to the primary units down here, I want to change the dimensional units from being architectural, and we're going to go ahead and make it fractional like that. We're going to choose fractional. So we don't need any of these others. We basically, I guess we could, yeah, we don't want decimal either. So we could, well, you could use decimal. We're just going to go ahead and use fractional. Use fractional right here. And then what you do is you would go ahead and put in a suffix. So we go here and put in a suffix, which is inches like that. So you put in inches and then it says 20 inches like that. So that's the override right there. And you go ahead and do it that way. And so let me show you that one more time. So it says this 1'8". So you click on this. So you go to properties. And in your properties, you go down here till you get to the primary units portion. And we change it from architectural. And we're going to change it over here to fractional. So change to fractional. And then we're going to go here and we're going to give it a suffix, which you're going to type in the inch mark right there. And for mixing these right here, and that's what you do. I think it gives you 20 inches. Okay, does that help there, Gisandra?
Let me try.
Okay, so that's how you put those in there. Now, one other thing I was going to say here, this is a 5-inch wall. Now, let me see if I can, I actually started to go after this earlier. I didn't get there. So let me go ahead and do this. Let me stop sharing. And let me find this other right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and find a file that we need here. And the file that I need is my section. So I need a section plan here. Section, wall section, right there. Is that it? Yeah. All right. Okay, what I want to show you right here is this right here. I'll go ahead and start the share again if I can. All right, over here, I'm going to share my screen again and share this one. So share this. Okay, now you see my screen again. Now this is actually the wall section. Remember it said AA? Here's wall section AA right here. So look at the wall section AA right here. Here is the footing. This is your 1'8" right here. That's that one. On top of that is your 8-inch foundation, your 8-inch foundation wall. And then over here, you have your 5-inch wall. This is a 5-inch wall right there. So it says up here 5 inches. Okay, so that's the next thing we're gonna do. We're gonna put that 5-inch wall. It's gonna be toward the outside. So that's over there. So I'm gonna go back over here. I'm gonna offset that. So I'm gonna offset that 5 inches. So I offset this line 5 inches, and that gives me that right there. And I'll do that. And that needs to be on the other layer. All right, so back to here. So once I got that in place, then what you would do is we'd go ahead and do that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my doors. I'm going to go to polyline. And I'm going to go from here. I'm going to go over, what's that, 7 feet? Yeah, 7 feet. So 7 feet, boom. And then I'm going to go down here. I'm just going to go ahead and bring it down here to the 5 inches. Then I'm going to go over 3 feet, 36 actually. Put it this way, and then 6 feet. All right. And then right to here, and then over. And that is what you would do right there for the windows. And I think I just offset the slide one, like, okay, I made it all one thing. That's fine, that's acceptable, just like that. And that is the same size, and that's the same, I would actually use the same as the other side, so I just mirror it. And I go ahead and grab this, mirror that. And I go ahead and just use this as my mirror line like this. I go ahead and put it there. And no, and so I'd go ahead and do that. Does that help as far as doing the windows?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, now the last thing is the door, which is centered in there, and that's just a couple of rectangles. And the rectangles are, you could go ahead and make them, as far as that part, it's, so I just go ahead and mark that, which is actually 15 feet 8. So if I were to go line, and if I were to go from here, I go over 15 feet 8, 15 feet 8, boom. Then I go ahead and go down here. And I want to go ahead and place that there. So go ahead and get rid of this, delete that. All right, and that's where I want the next one set up. So I got this runway here as my marker. And then what I would do is these would have to be, since that's a 5-inch wall, I'd make them 2.5 inches by around, oh gosh, whatever, 6 feet. That's like 36, 38 inches. Okay, so I'll just do this. I'll make a rectangle, and I'll do this. I'll make it 38, comma 2.5, boom. Okay, and there's half. Let's go ahead and do this. So copy this. I'm going to copy it. Copy this, and I'll just go ahead and start by copying this to, it's supposed to be there. So go ahead and drop this here. I'll go ahead and copy this. Essentially like that's what you want to do, and that's really what I'm looking for. And then you just go ahead and move them over to basically, move them over to just overlap like that, and then you go ahead and draw your lines around the edges. Next time I do this, I think I'll just go ahead and make blocks for you guys, but oh well, that's what it is. And then you want to check your dimensions. I think we're good. I might have to tweak it, but you get the idea. I think we should be good. Let me make sure it is. Yeah, perfect. Okay, then I just have to make sure it's still away from the edge what it should be, and then get my dimensions down here. So I go from here to here. There we go. We'll do another one. And we got this right. I hope I did. Points. Something.
What did you do to get them?
50.6. Got to go over 2 inches. So move over 2 inches. So I'll move it 2 inches. Both these over. That's it. And that is where that would go. Correct. I think that's 6. Okay, what is that? Just measuring 2. Okay, that's why it's measured the wrong spot. Okay. There we go. Okay, and that's how we go ahead and put that together. Okay, so that's how you do the windows. And that is everything. So that's all I've got right there. Any other questions before I let you guys work with this? Okay, I'll be here as always, and I'll let you guys go ahead and start to work on this. So again, your time is your own, and whatever you guys want to do with that. This is